What up, everybody? Soloist TCG here, bringing you a deck profile for the first OP09 leader I'm going to be going over. Shanks, red-haired Shanks. Probably my new main for going to locals and everything. I was playing an L as my main in OP08.5. I felt like he did really good in that meta, and now Shanks does really good into this meta, and it is the playstyle of these new leaders that I like the most, which, by the way, the new leaders are all very fun, I think. Some are better than others, obviously, but I think they're all super fun. It's one of the best sets we've had in a long time, and my favorite of these is Shanks. Now, Shanks is a very interesting leader. Once per turn, you may activate this ability when your opponent attacks. Give up to one of your opponent's leader or characters minus 1,000 power for the turn. So it's basically a free 1k. Now, alone, it's kind of an underwhelming ability. And when it first got announced, I was like, this sucks. Like, how are we 9 sets in and giving new leaders, like Shanks of all people, abilities this bad? But the support is built around this ability and makes perfect sense and makes the ability really good. And honest to God, playing the ability with it in practice is a whole lot better than I ever thought it would be, because that means things when they were swinging 7 into 5 to get a 2k and a 1k, now you're making that a 6. It's just a 2k now. It is so crazy how much pressure that takes off of you and how much of a hand advantage you have still late into the game. Let's get into the build here. And the only reason I'm going to go a little bit more into the build in this video than other videos is because a lot of people are playing Shanks and a lot of people are playing Shanks differently. Let me show off a few cards, honorable mentions, that I'm not running right now that other people are running in their builds. And there's really 2 in particular that I tried and I didn't like personally, but a lot of people are running it, and that's Ace. This Ace right here from the starter deck. And you don't get the rush ability, but it is still very sticky. It can't be removed from effects. It has to be removed from effects twice, and it's just a really good solid 5 cost 6k. I don't run this because I find that anytime I had this in hand, I never wanted to play it over Yasop or Lucky Root. Ever. In a million years, ever would do that. So I personally just don't do it. I think it would be fine into the teach matchup where it's hard to remove and it doesn't really rely on on-play effect. So people, I think, tech it in for the teach matchup. But I've faced a few teaches, and I think a lot of these abilities, like this is no on-play and it still gives minus 1,000. This gets turned off a little bit, but the deck still runs fine, and that's why we tech in 4 new gates, by the way. But we'll get into that when we get into that. The other tech is Dragon, 8 cost. Just a very good card with Rush. I mean, there's only 1 card with Rush in this whole deck, and I thought about teching in Kid Killers, to be honest, too, but no, it's just very good. And the reason I didn't is because we're very rarely we're not dancing around 2 life lot. We don't take a lot of damage with this unless we're losing. So, Dragon, pretty good. My biggest hear me out card for this deck is Red Force. I think this is an amazing card. I took it out to experiment with Red Hawk, and I do think Red Hawk is better. But there is world. Maybe you could go down a new gate or 2 to add in a Red Force. A new gate and one of the other 4 drops. I love Red Force. It just gives, on your turn, minus 1,000 power to something. It's like a very baby version of Innie's Lobby. Nowhere near as good, but it pretty much makes it to where here you have this that trashes something 6,000 or less. Well, now it trashes anything 7,000 or less because you constantly have a 1,000 debuff. Things like this have a 1,000 debuff too, so paired with this, that's a 2,000 debuff. It's just, I think it's a fantastic card, but no one runs it but me, so I took it out to tech with some other stuff, and honest to God, I'm probably going to end up putting it back in because I love that card. Let's go over it. Otama, 2k, and give something minus 2,000 power. We have power-based removal in this deck. It makes a lot of sense. 10 cost Shanks Film KOs anything with 10,000 power or less. We only run 2 of them because it is, in some situations, better to play this than this, but it gives us a top-end removal that almost removes anything in the game. There are 11k and 12k bodies, but that's why we established building snakes early, is because you can have them on the field and then discard it for free to give minus 3,000, which makes any target in the game, even Goldie Roger, targetable by this card. So very good combo right here. Then we have Rayleigh, which I think is actually the best card in the deck. Give one thing minus 3,000 power, one thing minus 2,000 power, and then KO something with 3,000 power. It KOs pretty much any 6,000 power enemy in the game because you give it minus 3,000 and then it dies. And then you debuff something by 2,000, and that lasts until your next turn. One of the coolest combos in the deck is with this Red Hawk card. That's 2 cost counter, give something plus 4,000, and then KO of 4,000 or less. You do this to a target that is above 4,000, and then you leave 2 up for this, and then this hits that. And also, the counter, the way to play this card is that if there's a 5k on board, then you're attacked, then you use leader ability, you take the hit maybe, whatever. Or you don't take the hit because Red Hawk is going to save you. You use this to give something else minus 1,000 to get it to 4,000, then you counter out with Red Hawk to kill that thing. And it also just makes it targetable to higher power things when you debuff it with Rayleigh first. So a very fun combo right here. I didn't love this card because I didn't find myself ever finding a situation to have enough Dawn Up to use counters until this combo came out in my mind. So I think it's pretty good for that, honestly. Another thing that could be teched in is Badmanner's Course Kick. You are running quite a few bricks. And when I was throwing this deck together, you played it on another computer. I was like, I'm forgetting a card, and that's the card I forgot, but the deck still works without it. I just think you probably do want to get rid of some of the bricks for counter. Uta! It's a film card that searches red hair pirates. It's literally a searcher. Also, it's got film on it, so red, purple, Uta support. 10 cost Shanks, my favorite card in the game. I don't think it's the best card in the deck, but it is super fun and funny. 10 drop, 12k rush. Always while it's on the field, all of your opponent's characters have minus 1,000 power. If you can get multiple of these out, it is just freaking devastating. We run 2 Silvers Rayleigh. It is pretty much a queen that if they have 2 5,000 or more powers characters, you draw 2, trash 1. I only run 2 of them because that is actually, with how much removal we have, is pretty situational. It works against Swarm decks like Sophie. I don't know why I wanted to say Rayleigh. It doesn't really work against like Zorro or something because he just plays babies. So, yeah. We have Building Snake, which is Gordon and Ray's Max. It's literally that with the red hair tag on it. You use this to play it out to just decrease power and make it easier to remove. The actual best card in the deck, no joke, Ben Beckman. Trash is 6,000 power or less. You may be thinking, well, that's decent. You trash it. You don't KO it. It gets around Sabo, that's immune to KOing. It gets around Borsalino, that's immune to KOing. It gets around anything immune to KO effects. This trashes it. It doesn't KO it. That's insanely good. So you always want to go first to kind of curve into this, just to get rid of whatever's on board. And then you have a 7k body on board. That's pretty huge. We have a 2k. You can play this to give something minus 2,000 power, and it also synergizes with Beckman. So you can play this, give minus 2,000 power to an 8k, and then you kill it with this, or a 9k even. You 9, 8, 7. I'm stupid. An 8k, and then you kill it with this. You can give it to a 7k and then kill it with this. That's the only situation. Mostly it is just a 2. Here we have Yasop. When attacking with 1 Dawn, you give something minus 1,000 power to make it easier to remove with other stuff. You're noticing a trend here. And then on play, you give your leader plus 1,000 power until your next turn. So he becomes a 6k leader. That is, if you're curving into 5, I think that is the best thing to do. It's either this or Lucky Roo, which Lucky Roo on KO something with a base power of 6,000. Not a current power of 6,000, but a base power of 6,000. Depending on what you're doing, if you're going up against Dofi, you probably want to play this to just get some early board clear. If you're playing up against like a Zorro or something, you're not going to have to worry too much about board clear because most of the things you're swinging into, you're going to kill. You can play this to make it harder to swing into. And then you always have leader ability. Leader ability with a 6k leader is crazy. Then we have this. You can play this if they have a blocker with 4,000 power or less. To go for win and have unblockable. This is 1,000. I've never played this card. This is 1,000% just a 2k. We've already went over this. We run 1 Roger because I don't think this card's that great. It's basically just a 10k 10 drop 13k. 13 is crazy. It's the only card in the game with a stat line like that. Rush. The wording is weird. It says when your opponent activates blocker, when you or your opponent have 0 life, you win the game. That's a fun wording, right? It's basically just unblockable. You play this. They're trying to block up. Maybe they're at 0 life and they're trying to block up and hope to God to stall the game. You just drop this and win the game. I mean, that's literally what it is. Very good into the black-yellow Luffy matchup because that's just all they ever do. So you could probably, if your local scene has a lot of black-yellow Luffys, put more of these in there. My local scene does not have any, so I run 1. I saw a lot of people run. And then Newgate, I honest to God would probably take out at least one of these, and honest to God, maybe even one of these to run Badmanner's Course Kick. But right now we run 4 because it pretty much does the same thing as Beckman about KOing things. KOs, it doesn't trash. But we run it for the Teach matchup because it's an activate main, not an on play. So it works for that. Also, really cool synergy. On play, get something minus 1,000 power. You have something 6,000 power. Wait, I'm so stupid. Get something 1 rest a ton. Talking too much. They have a 6,000 power. You want to remove it. You don't have a Beckman. What do? You have a Yasop on field. Play this. Move a rested on over to Yasop. Swing 7 at life. Give that thing minus 1,000 power. Then pop it with Newgate. So much synergy in this deck that I think is so awesome. I love this deck so much. And I just think it's super cool how people are playing it drastically different. I saw someone at my local scenes playing the animal package with it. I don't have any idea how that works, but go off, King, whatever. I think this is super duper gas. And the games reflect that. Please let me know what you think and expect more 09 content. Comment, like, subscribe. Bye-bye. Okay, we have got a red yellow Sambo who is letting us go first. We do love to see it. We don't super love this hand, but we're going to keep it, and I'll tell you why. Because we do have Lucky Roo to eventually play, and it'll be very nice towards taking out his units very early. So he is running the new Revolutionary package. I know a lot of people were not doing that so much in OP08, but now that Revolutionary has so much amazing support, yeah, you're doing it. So, typical Shanks turn 2 fashion. I really need to turn on the attach all on thing. I still can't believe there was an update where they came out where that was just automatically on. That was so frustrating to accidentally equip alt on to something when you were trying to swing for win. Just the game got updated one day and it was just here. All right, so we're gonna play that down and then pass. So we actually have 3 Lucky Roos in our hand now, so we can do this turn quite a bit. Now keep in mind, Lucky Roo is an original power of 6,000. So there's good things and bad things to this. The bad things is if there were 7k bodies on the board, you could just leader ability and then block to kill it. The good things is for things like Bello Betty or maybe even Sabo, where things are going to get buffed, you can still kill it because its base power is below 6,000. You use this less as a blocker and more so as a means of removal. By the way. Okay, we're getting out. When this character has 7,000 power or more, they gain Banish. So we... Oh, we just block this and kill him, right? Yeah, that was simple. So that's the one we have to block, but I'm thinking too hard about it. We just block and kill. Not a problem. We're chilling. And then next turn, we do have 7 Dawn. If he's not gonna move Ivankov. So I think what we do is let's just swing 5 into Ivankov and see what happens. Do they let us have it? They don't. Let's pop the Banish regardless with Beckman. Again, and Beckman has Crash, not KO. So he gets around Sabo, around anything that this is immune to being KO'd by effects. Well, we're not KOing it, we're putting it in the trash. So it's a workaround. What we have here. This is one of the new cards. Place one Revolutionary type army. Okay. Character from your hand to your left face up. Then if you have 2 or more alive, put the totem. Okay, that's pretty cool synergy there. I think we do this and 2k just because we're about to get hit with an onslaught. All right, we're at 9 Dawn. What we want to do is probably swing 8 into Ivankov. At this point, we need to just starve him pretty good. Let's double block. And we don't want to give him that Sabo back in hand, so we're going to pass. So he has 3 cards in hand. We definitely are just Sabo D Bangus. We're just big time starving now. We block the first one, and then we'll just kill him next turn with something. Rayleigh is online. Okay. I personally would have Rayleigh'd after maybe... And then we'll just pop Karasu. Not hard. 5 into 4. Let's use card action right here. I don't know if we're going to get a whole lot of use out of Yasop this game now, so let's just pop him. So this would be a really cool play where if we had a building snake on field, we could just pop him with our own Beckman. But I think what we do now is, so he's at minus 3,000. Let's just swing 7,000 at lead and then use our own Beckman to nerf their Beckman. Although now that I'm looking at it, I could have... That's what I'm probably going to do. And by Beckman, I did mean... Rayleigh. So what I'm going to do now, next turn, I did have Hongo. I didn't realize Hongo is basically 3-Don, give something minus 2,000 power. We could have done that to Rayleigh to pop him with Beckman. 3-7 makes 10. That's a good combo with that. Just like Rayleigh 8-2 with, what is it? Red Hawk? Right? Red Hawk? Works with the mana and Board Swarm. Even though this card is kind of like RNG. They need to make a blue-red Revolutionary Leader that can synergize with this card better. That would be really, really dope. Give us the Koala Leader we deserve. 7. Let's just take this. Okay, cool. I was hoping to get another 2K from that. We definitely need to... Oh, Christ almighty. Card action, no blocker. This guy is playing really, really well. And then he decides not to do that. So, this can pop anything. I do believe the correct answer here is just to get a little aggressive. I think it's time to start getting aggressive. So we can swing 7, 8, 8. Because we can't really afford to do too much starving because he can heal every single turn. So let's just do that. And then if he drops Rayleigh again, it's a good opportunity to just 10 drop him. Okay. And we'll pass. Another again with the Shanks. Putting that Shanks into top life is actually pretty cool. Making me really want to play this deck, man. I'm not gonna. I love this deck. All right, so we take this hit, get another 10 drop. That's good. And then we counter this hit. Now we have a few options here. We could go ahead and establish some 10 drop presence. First of all, I think we do kill Mr. Kuma here. Get some cards out of hand. Okay, that was easy. So the question is, do we establish a 10 drop rush or do we establish a blocker to start killing units? I think we have a little bit more time to be a little slow with it. So let's just drop some 5/7/7 and then poke it with a 12. Poke it with a 12, I say. Playing your leader, play this card. That'd be fine. He'll probably play that card and then we'll get the block out of it. And pass. And he's kind of cooked next turn, honestly. That was the right play. I don't think there's going to be much he can do. Yeah, he just concedes. What kind of cards were we running here? Roger, very cheeky, but like, God, just it's so situational. Dragon could have done some pretty cool things to us there, but he would have had to really play that smart if he wanted to push out a win by maybe dropping Dragon and then moving 2 Rested to one of these, and then you'd have to put... I don't know, Rested on these, swing with Dragon, heal with Dragon, buff the other one, and swing. It would have been really kind of tough. I don't know. GG's, though. Really, really fun. The next game. Alrighty, we got a purple Luffy. I feel like this is going to be a matchup a lot of people see. We are going to Mulligan. And this is a little better, I think. You really want to play this deck to find the middle game instead of the end game, because if you find too much end game early on, you will brick. So you just don't want that. You want to curve into these Yasop's and Beckmans really bad. Again, your first and second turn should be searching, establishing building snakes, and then your third turn on 5-Don should be Lucky Roo or Yasop. I don't really know the order you want to do that in. I guess it's just kind of whatever it fits the situation more. Like fighting against Dofi, I think establishing a Lucky Roo would be good, just to have something to pop their board early with. Fighting against like Zoro or anything that's just poking a bunch of 5s, it's obviously a good idea to just establish Yasop to become a 6K, which is what we're gonna end up doing this game. Purple Luffy, I actually think this is a good matchup, very so much in favor of Shanks. So that's very good, just because it's so easy to pop a lot of the things on his board. And we go aggressive pretty early, so he has to counter a lot or take a lot. So we kind of just, I don't know, outpace him a little bit. That's just kind of what I think. There's probably people in the comments who are like, this is astronomically in Purple Luffy's favor. Oh. Who knows, though? All right, so we get the combo going. First things first, we really need to get this Sangoro out of mission. We're not going to take a damage at all this match either, or this turn, because he passes. I would have still attacked with the Sangoro to get a card draw. You have 8 or more Dawn? He doesn't have 8 or more Dawn. Never mind. Well, sad news for you. You are going to lose that. I'm not going to attack with the Yasop because I don't want to give him a target to swing into. I'm still at 5 live. I can afford to take some live. And I got pretty good counter. I've got 3 2Ks. So I'm not really... We're chilling. We're mad chilling. Next turn, we will be at 9. We can throw a Dawn onto Yasop, swing to get this guy to 7. Then we can give him -2 with Rayleigh to debuff him quite a bit. And then give this -3 to pop it. Yeah. I think it's safe to just go ahead and block that hit out. He has 8 Dawn up. He's probably going to want to Luffy Taro again. No, he's going to Sanji. Okay, that's... Rest is 6 or less. Going to get Yasop. Probably swing into Yasop. I want to keep Yasop, but whatever. 7 into me, we can definitely. And then I think we countered it. I want to keep Otama for a play right now. So, here's what we do. We can Otama to get this -2000, 8, 7, 6, and then Rayleigh pops that. Rayleigh can then debuff this to make it easier for this dude to swing into. So let's go ahead and do all of that right here. We don't need to waste Building Snake yet. We want to save Building Snake to debuff Luffy, like secret cost Luffy. So then we can drop this, give -3, give minus... Maybe we get -2 here to make a guaranteed kill. I think that sounds better. That way we can also swing with a leader into this. We could have done that here too, but now we demand more cards out of hand. And then we can just swing 7 to face. I don't care to let him have 1 body. I didn't think he'd want to take it, but took it. Next turn, we can also... A really cool synergy... I love this deck, if you can't tell. Another cool synergy is to play out Newgate. They have a 6,000 power or less on the field. You play out Newgate, and then you pop the Rested Dawn over to Yasop, swing with Yasop, make it a 5,000. Now Newgate kills it. So every single day of the year, we do that. And then I'm going to have to give him a 2K. I don't want Beckman to go. We want to keep more presence. We do have 10 Dawn. We could cycle hand a little bit with Rayleigh here. We could pop... We can't really... We could technically pop Luffy again with Newgate. And then move Arrested Dawn over to something. Is that worth doing, or do we just go ahead and establish the Shanks? I think that is worth doing, so let's go ahead and do that. Bottom deck right there. Move this over to leader just to buff him up a little bit. Poppy. Let's swing 10 into 7 just to guarantee a kill. Maybe. He'll probably counter it. Perfect. And then we just 6, 7. At this point, guys, it's not about doing damage to Luffy. It's about getting that hand size dead. He's not leaving any Dawn up for Gum Gum Giant. So as long as we kill the hand size, we should be pretty good. Now, he has 1 body on board. And we have a Beckman, a Rayleigh, and a Newgate with a 10 cost Shanks in hand. We're chilling. Now, it is Purple Luffy. There's a lot of new shenanigans here. I think I'm going to take this. Yeah, because we're chilling. We're mad chilling. And he's not using Dawn, so it makes me think he has a 9 cost to use. We're definitely going to counter that. But Kaido. He still runs Kaido. Oh. Does he swing face? Wish I'd saved that 2K now. I don't think it would have mattered. Yeah, you got it. I can't believe he uses Kaido. I thought Kaido would go out of style big time. Huh. Well, he didn't leave any Dawn up. Is this game? Let's swing 5. If he takes any damage, I think he's cooked. 7. I think he's cooked. I don't think there's any chance. If he counters this, then he's fine. But if he counters this, and I'm just gonna... Ooh, okay. Then I'm just gonna pop this Kaido with Shanks. Okay, now he feels a little cooked. I'm not gonna lie. He does feel a little cooked. Yeah, concedes. GG's. I would have tried to save up some Dawn for that. I definitely don't think I'll be running Kaido. That's kind of crazy. Definitely. Maybe he's just not... Because I'm not seeing 9-cost Luffy in here at all. But I do kind of respect the idea that maybe he's going to a tournament soon. He's opened boxes. He's not found the 9-cost Luffy. And this is the next best thing. So you're running this to practice with it. I totally get that. And I respect that. But definitely don't run Kaido in... I don't think. Definitely not a good idea. In my opinion. I mean, popping a 6 cost or less is good. But a lot of the meta right now is above that. So it's good into Dofi, I guess, which is a big part of the meta. It's kind of swarming everything. I don't know. It's just not better than the 9-cost Luffy. I don't think it's worth it. And the Dawn Minus thing always sucked. I don't know. What do y'all think? That's the video. Thanks for watching. Shanks is my new main. I love this deck. Let me know what you would do different in the build, because I feel like everyone has a different build. And hey, heck yeah. I'll see you later. Ciao.